Hi, my dear students. Good morning. Welcome to the online video class session of Political Science, second semester. So, my dear students, I'm welcoming you all to the second semester. So, in the part of second semester, we need to study about the Western political thought. In our previous class, I shared with you about the second semester syllabus. So, today, let's start about the first concept, the Greek political thought. So, it contains again, there are three subunits like Greek political thought and sophists, Plato, Plato's ideal state, and the Socrates. So, these three concepts we need to discuss in the first unit of Greek political thought. So, my dear students, let us discuss in detail about the concept of the Greek political thought. So, before going to in details about the concept of political thought, so we need to discuss about first what is political thought. So, if we understand the concept of what is political thought, then it is easy to understand the remaining concepts. So, political thought is nothing but the philosophical study about a political issues or a philosophical study or inquiry about the political concepts. There are various concepts in political science, like the concept of power, the concept of justice, the concept of rights, the concept of law, and other concepts which are related to the governance, such as liberty, authority, and legitimacy. So, these things are discussed in a philosophical manner, in a scientific manner, is called the political thought. So, my question is to you all that there are various sources are there to the political thought. Can you imagine what are the sources of political thought? So there are n number of sources to the concept of political thought, even though it is even though an Indian political thought or Western political thought. So the books are the best sources of the political thoughts. Here, the philosophers are shared their ideas through their writings in the form of books. So that is one of the main sources of the political thought. For example, the ancient political philosophers like Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, they were the forefathers of the Greek political thought. So they were written their books. They were written some of the books and they were shared their ideas through that books. For example, Aristotle was written the famous book Politics. In his book, the word politics is first used by him. The Socrates was written a book, Republic. So in the Republic, he mentioned about the contemporary situations of those city states, Greek city states. So like that, the books are the best sources of political thought, even though it is in India or anywhere. If you take India, the books, the inscriptions, the coins, the monuments, or the sources of political thought. But we are discussing about the Western political thought. Here, the Greek civilization is the symbol of the political thought, Greek political thought, or the main sources of political thought is the Greek civilization and their books. So, my dear students, keep in mind that political thought is nothing but the ideas and their thoughts are inculcated in the systematic manner, or political or a philosophical manner is the political thought. So the political thought, also known as the political philosophy. So don't be get confused. The political thought also called as the political philosophy. So political philosophy is synonymous as the political thought. We should not get confused. The political thought is nothing but political philosophy. So if we go in detail about the word political philosophy, the word political philosophy is the combination of two Greek words like philos and sophia. So which means philos means love and sophia means knowledge. So here the word philosophy means love of knowledge, and the word philosopher means love of knowledge, lover of knowledge. So here we generally used to using the term philosopher in a political point of view, or in the political science we generally used the term philosopher, political philosopher. Here political philosopher means the lover of knowledge of political science. So he has the various knowledge about the concept of political issues like liberty, equality, authority, justice, legitimacy, rights, law. So these all political concepts, as he can analyze. So he was called as the philosopher. So here once again I am highlighting that political philosopher means the lover of knowledge of political issues or political concepts. So philosopher means lover of knowledge. So this is about a brief introduction about the political thought. The political thought was originated in Greeks by their philosophical inventions. So here what I am trying to highlight is that the Greek political thought is originated in Greeks, because the Greeks are taken initiative to highlight the concept. So that is why the political thought of Greeks originated in the Greek city states by the political philosophical inventions of those days philosophers like Cyracus, Socrates, Plato, Pythagoras, Aristotle. These are the famous philosophers of those days. So here it was much influenced by the Greek city states in the ancient period of 5th century. So what I am trying to highlight is that the city states are the roots of political philosophy or political thought in the ancient era or in the ancient time. Here ancient time is the nothing but the 5th century of BC. The 5th century and 4th century and 3rd century of BC was the political science, the concept of political science, political philosophy, political thought was originated in the Greek city states. But there are different governments are there in those city states at that time. So like monarchy and aristocracy and also democracy. But there are n number of city states, approximately more than 100 city states were there in those days, like Sparta, Athens, Milan, Thebes, Syracuse. So like that there are n number of states. Out of that, the Sparta and Athens were the most popular city states and more powerful city states. So the philosophers of Greek like Plato, Aristotle and Socrates were came from these two city states, Athens and Sparta. So that is why in the history the political philosophers like Plato and Aristotle and Socrates have inevitable role in the Western political thought. The Greek city states have their own unique features. So that is why it has become the source or the root became the political thought or political philosophy. Okay, my dear students, this is about the brief introduction about the political thought or Western political thought. So once again I am repeating that the Greek political thought is originated in the Greek city states. There are n number of city states, like more than 100 city states are there in those days. But out of that, the Sparta and Athens were the most powerful and popular city states in those days. They are treated, city states are everything and anything to them. That is why it has its own features. The Greek philosophy has its own, or the Greek political thought has its own features. Okay, so if we go in details about the features of the Greek city states, approximately there are 10 the unique features of the Greek city states. So listen carefully. The first one is small states. So in the Greek there are, I already said that hundreds of city states were there in those days. These city states were called as the polis. Polis means city states. They are, the city states were consisted approximately 20,000 people, from 5,000 to 20,000 people. But Athens is one of the largest city state. It has 2.5 lakhs population in those days. Just imagine. The Athens is one of the largest and high populous city state of those days. Athens and beside Athens and Syracuse and also Acragas. These are the largest states in those days. But these three city states like Athens, Syracuse and Acragas add more than 20 lakhs population. But the remaining states like Thebes, Milan, Macedonia, these are small states who have having up to 5,000 and 20,000. But it has its own, each and every city state has its own government, its own constitution, its own the rules and regulations of that particular state or city state. So it means the small state is one of the best feature of the Greek political thought. Okay. Then the second feature of the Greek political thought is all in all. It means all the people of the Greek city states were worshipped same God and same religion. And the city states were everything. They are considered that city states were everything. It means the government is everything. The government is established for the sake of the individuals. So that is why they are considered, the city states were everything for them. The main aim of the city states are promote the justice to the individuals and welfare of the people. So like that, the democratic countries, those who are familiarized today as the most developed democratic countries like India and America. So likewise, the city states were flourished like the India and America in those days. Okay, and the third feature of the Greek political philosophy is the direct democracy, because now we are in indirect democracy. In the present scenario, there are approximately more than 200 countries are there. Out of that, approximately near to 200 countries are following the democratic system, but we are following indirect democracy. So there is a difference between direct democracy and indirect democracy. So in indirect democracy, what happening? We, the people of that particular state, are electing our representatives, and that elected representatives are sending by us to the assemblies, and they were discussed, and they are form various policies. But whereas in direct democracy, each and every citizen will participate in the public affair matters, in the governmental matters. So that is the difference between the direct democracy and indirect democracy. But where the direct democracy is possible, where there is a small portion of population or small number of population is availed, then there is a possibility to the direct democracy. So in those days, the city states were the small population states. That is why the direct democracy is possible in the Greek city states. So Plato was stated that an ideal state should have the 5040 population. It should not be exceed 5040 population. So likewise, the direct democracy is one of the unique feature of the Greek city states. And there are various kinds of uh, uh, citizens, like slaverism was supported in the Greek city states. They are strongly believed in limited citizenship. So in those days, according to Aristotle, there are three types of categories: citizens, aliens, and slaves. Citizens means those who have the political rights. They are right to actively participate in the political issues. And aliens means those who have came from the other states for the sake of business or trade. And the slaves were the helpers to the above mentioned two groups like citizens and aliens. Here, the women, aliens, and slaves doesn't have the political rights. So this is about the direct democracy. And the fourth feature of the Greek city states is slaverism. So I already discussed that the landlords, middle class people, and slaves were there in the city states. But the landlords means citizens, and the middle class, they are also some of the middle class people having the citizenship. So these groups are having the right to participate in the political activities. But whereas each and every landlord and each and every middle class people have the right to maintain the slaves. For example, if we take the Athens, Athens is one of the high populous state in those days, like 1.2 lakhs population. But out of 1.2 lakhs population, 80,000 population were the slaves only. Just imagine it. So they are giving that much of preference or priority to the slaves. But the slaves are saleable commodity in those days. సేలబుల్ కమోడిటీ అంటే ఇక్కడ స్లేవ్స్ అనేవాళ్ళు ఆ యొక్క యజమానులకు బానిసలు, వాళ్ళు అమ్మబడే ఒక వస్తువులాగా ట్రీట్ చేసేవాళ్ళు. ఇప్పుడు మనం ఏ విధంగా అయితే పశువులను సంతలో అమ్ముతున్నామో ఆ విధంగా స్లేవులను కూడా అంటే బానిసలను కూడా అమ్మేసేవాళ్ళు ఆ యజమానులు. ఆ విధంగా స్లేవరిజం వాస్ కంటిన్యూడ్ ఇన్ దోస్ డేస్. And the feature of the Greek city states, the good life. Good life means the state is for their good life. The state was established for the sake of the citizens' good life. State is providing each and everything to them. So they are strongly believed that state is everything and anything for them. Nothing beyond the state. That much of belief or trust in the state. That is why they are having the good life. And the another feature of the city state is secular outlook. So here the secular outlook and open minded people have there in the Greek city states. So, according to them, state is the ethical institution, and it has followed some religion. It has followed the same religion and same God. There is no differentiation, but it was not restricted to follow the individuality, and it was given priority to the individuality with concern to the state. So that is why it has the secular outlook is become one of the feature of the Greek city state. And the another feature of the Greek city state is the open living. The almost all the city states people are living or in a assembly, so they always tries to assemble. They always tries to assemble, or they are always try to be in a in a marketplaces. They always try to discuss about the various concepts of political issues. So they cannot live in their homes. They always try to outside the homes like marketplaces, and they used to assemble in the public places. So like that is why they have the various, they have a chance to discuss the new concepts, new issues which are arriving in those days. And the another the eighth, the feature of the Greek city states is different professions. So I already explained that in the Greek city states, the entire citizens were categorized into three groups, such as citizens, aliens, and slaves. So here the citizens are the rulers and as well as the soldiers, but slaves are the servants to the rulers and as well as soldiers. So here the rulers have different profession, the soldiers have different profession, and the slaves have different profession. Each and every group has their own activities or functions. They have to perform their functions. So this is the structure of the professions. And finally, the way of life. So I already mentioned that the Greek city states people strongly believed in the state. That state was the manner of life. State was the manner of life. So it is everything to them. The state stood inside or highlight the values of that particular people. The state is not only the sharing of power or exercising the authority, but state is the manner of life to them. But today's state is different from those city states. So now state is uh, functioning like power and exercising authority. But in those days, state is everything to them. The state was the manner of life. It was stood the highest value. So that is why the Greek city states were the most familiar and most advanced established city states in the ancient era. So, my dear students, this is about the Greek city states. So, it is one of the most important question. It may be asked in the annual examinations. So, what is political thought, and explain the features of Greek political thought. Then we have to write down these introduction and as well as the features of the city states. Okay. So my dear students, please listen the video carefully, and if you have any doubt, please bring to my notice, and I will try to rectify as early as possible.